if those investments are successful, the principle is that you will then get rewarded based on the amount of reward tokens you hold. Now, the reward tokens, if you read the contracts yourself and try to make sense of them, there's one thing that I found extremely difficult to understand, and it took me a long time to look through the wiki documentation to have some to find a place where this is explained. So I'm just going to explain this now. As I said, the code is very easy to read, but this one little wrinkle is going to confuse the heck out of you if you're like I am. So here's the scenario. Alice buys $150 million of these tokens. So based on, it's 150 million of these tokens. Since it's 150 million total, that would be 10% of the supply. Now, the Dow invests a third of the money, 50 million, into company A. And now Alice, for whatever reason, decides, oh, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I'm just going to split off, and I'm going to take all my money with me, and we're going to go elsewhere to another Dow. So Alice can do that. And now, the Dow invests in another company, B, and also puts in 50 million. And at the very end, it turns out company A had a big breakthrough with that investment, and they made a phenomenal amount of money, and they made $500 million. So 10 times the money back and send it to the Dow. So the question is, how much reward does Alice get for participating in this? So if you think about it, she owns 10% of the supply. So you would think that with company A, Alice, if there's 50 million total, that she contributed 5 million or 10% to company A. So then you would expect if company A makes $500 million, that she would make $50 million. However, the answer is she makes $25 million. And that is because there's a performance optimization in the Dow. And that is that it does not keep track of rewards on a per proposal basis, but only in a per Dow basis. So if you split off, you have your own reward tokens. But on the main level, when the Dow invested in company B, the value of a reward token got diluted by 50% because this investment was just as big as the last one. And so even though she's already left and she has nothing to do with this, the other investors can essentially dilute her holdings. And if her investments are successful, her earnings will be diluted as well. So just when you read the code, be aware of this little hitch, because if you do the accounting, it won't make sense until you understand that they decided to do this. Now, criticism. So I mean, there's the obvious criticisms you can give with this. So we're trying to create a company essentially where the CEO is just a straight direct democracy of all shareholders. Now, people will point at companies that have existed in the past and say these have been successful. There's some small examples. I'm not so convinced by that. So I don't like the idea of just having my money in a direct democracy with everybody. But there's more direct criticisms that have to do with game theory. So what's really interesting, one of the new developments in the whole blockchain space is this idea of crypto-economics, where the marriage of cryptocurrency and economics. And what we want to do there is we look at game theory and we apply it to things like smart contracts, and we look at ways that people could attack smart contracts, how expensive a certain type of attack would be in dollars or ether, and then see if that attack will return you more money than you put in which case your smart contract is useless because everyone will just attack it if they have a return on investment. And so a very important paper. So I mean, the DAO code is extremely important because it's a very well engineered smart contract, the best one we have right now. But it was clearly written by a very gifted programmer, not an economist. And so there's some guys here with a little bit more economics experience that have analyzed it, and they have a bunch of different attacks that they found. And I won't go through all these now because we want to have a little time for lightning rounds. But suffice to say, look up the Vlad Zenfir and the moratorium on the DAO, and you'll run into the paper, and it's worth a read. And they walk through all the different attacks that you can do based on the way it's currently written, that really should worry you a little bit. The future of Ethereum. So definitely the challenge right now is building actually useful contracts with Ethereum. So there's some initial promising signs here that some interesting stuff can be built. But this is kind of what the future looks like for Ethereum. So I'm just going to explain it because I don't think people have been talking about it much. Early on, when Ethereum was first being talked about, there were a couple of talks by the founders that went into this, and I just want everyone to be aware that there's a bigger picture here. Okay, so this is how the internet currently works. You have servers, you have this HTTP layer, which is how servers and clients talk to each other, and then you have browsers and mobile phone apps, which are the clients. And this is how the internet works, these three layers. So if you're if you're selling something on eBay, eBay owns this, your browser is here, your customers are also here, and then you talk with eBay like this. So now what Ethereum wants to do is they want to build a very different model, and it looks like this. When you think of how eBay works, you really are, eBay is really three different applications in one. First of all, it's a publication medium. If you're selling a widget, you want to publish something saying, here's my widget for sale, and here's a description of the widget. So Ethereum is actually working on another technology called Swarm, which is related to something called IPFS, which is essentially a publishing platform. And so you could do that part of eBay on this publishing platform. Now the second thing you need to do is you need to be able to communicate with a person on eBay. So if somebody says, oh, well, what color is the widget? How old is it? Then you need to be able to securely talk to this person and send them messages, or maybe not securely, but often you want to have secure communication. So you could build that with something called Whisper, which is another technology that the Ethereum people are working on, and is against a separate technology. And then the third thing, if you're going to auction up a widget on eBay, you need to make sure only one person wins that widget. So even though we're running in a giant network with many computers, there has to be some sort of atomic mechanism that deals with money, that figures out, okay, there's one person that bid the maximum amount, and they're going to get the widget, and their money gets sent from their bank account to the seller of the widget. And that's what smart contracts are for. So this is where Ethereum lives. So this is the big vision, is to break up the internet in these horizontal layers for publishing, communication, and consensus. And in theory, you can create a decentralized version of every current app out there right now if you wanted to. But this is still a few years away. And that's my talk. This is my email, drcode@gmail.com, and you can see me on Twitter at Lisperati. So.
On the Ethereum getter.
On the what?
On the Ethereum getter.
The getter?
Yeah.
So I think I'm Dr. Code on there.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't frequent it too much, but yeah, I'm on there occasionally. I mean, our goal is we don't really want to deal with the low-level protocol at my company. Like we want to stay in the smart contract space and have competency there. And so the getter stuff is usually like if you're talking about things like block times and like performance of the nodes.
There's a solidity on there. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've certainly posted on there, so you'll see me. What's your name again?
RJ. I develop solidity.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
I'd love to talk to you. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, great. Oh, there we go.
Just a quick question. What are your thoughts on the transition from proof of work to proof of stake that's about a year out?
So this is a really tricky question. It's extremely risky, but I personally am very convinced, and I find it very compelling, and I'm 100% on board. But it's very risky. That's kind of the story on that.
So you were saying that it eliminates the ugly bits at the bottom, like the having to worry about your account being stolen and stuff like that. What kind of things do they do to prevent that? I mean, if you get someone's key, you still have their key.
Well, so smart contracts don't have private keys. That's the first thing. Because it's how it's written, it kind of just removes that whole concept of private key. A contract just has a contract address, which is equivalent to a public key. And if you get called, you're guaranteed that there's a global variable called message.sender, and that will always have the value of the person sending you, which could be another contract or it could be an account holder. And as far as your smart contract is concerned, you have 100% guarantee that that's accurate. You never have to worry that somebody is trying to call your contract with a different global variable or something. Like it removes that from you because your smart contract lives on this blockchain. So if somebody tries to fudge the blockchain, it just gets rolled back and it will go in a different direction. So that's kind of that part of the guarantee that it gives you. Yes, you had a question over there? No? Oh, okay. I guess I was wrong. Okay.
What happens if the inputs into your smart contracts are wrong? Right? Say there's a prediction futures market, they bet on an election, and the first results that come in are wrong. Smart contract pays out. How do you reverse?
That's a big problem. The only answers there are you either have to have somebody that you really trust that is feeding correct data into the contract. The second backup is you find 10 people you really trust that you give like whatever the price of Google when you're derivative on Google. And then what you do is you take the median of those 10 and assume that it would be very hard for all 10, for so many people to collude that they could mess up that value. And then a totally other approach is to use something called shelling mechanisms, which is a concept in economics where in theory you can pull values out of the real world and get them into a smart contract. And there was a professor Schelling that kind of talked about these types of ideas. And that's if you look at the Ethereum blog, you'll see that discussed. Vitalik Buterin has a Schelling coin architecture described on there. And so there you're using wisdom of the crowds to try to figure out what the right price of Google is. And in theory, you can set it up in a way where people can't cheat. Whether that will work is still an open question. So.
You seem to be betting on identity management as a key application for this. Could you expand on that just a little bit more? Are there some commercial applications maybe being built now, or?
Well, it's just easy because, I mean, the thing is that Ethereum is all about an ecosystem. Yeah. And if there is no ecosystem yet, which is where we are right now, then you have to figure the first successful things have to be at the edges. So, and one of the obvious edges is, let's just write a contract that keeps track of who you are. So that contract doesn't really need to talk to other contracts, but it can give results to other contracts and gets the ecosystem going. And then again, this idea that people are now very sophisticated in how they try to protect their identities. And if you can give somebody a computer program that can help you protect your identity, I think that might be compelling. And Facebook and Google accounts, they don't have anything like that. So that it seems like a good direction.
Seems like a huge market, big companies.
Yeah. Maybe we'll move to lightning talks now while there's a lull in questions.
Sure, that's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
what
sure.
a great talk, you guys. So before we get into lightning talks, just pause for 1 second. Someone left their keys. So now that I have your attention, if these are yours, okay, great. Okay, great. Yeah, they were on the table. No, not yours. Okay. So, couple quick things. Okay, good. One quick thing I just want to make clear because I am a lawyer, so I have to say this. We did put a proposal out for. We, meaning Andreas and myself, put a proposal out called the Decentralized Autonomous, the Decentralized Arbitration and Mediation Network, also known as DAM. But we didn't actually formally propose it to the DAO, although we did post it in our Bitcoin, our Ethereum, and our the DAO and DAO Hub in order to get feedback from the community on whether or not this is a project that the community cares about and is interested in. So I just wanted to make that very clear. We haven't officially presented it, and I'm not sure if we will or not. So, okay, we have, let's see, 9 lightning talks, and we're going to start with Adrian, but also Ramesh, because you both are interested in supply chain. So, yeah, if you both want to come up and just address the group, that would be great. You've got about a minute.
Really quickly, a friend of mine runs a project, freight forward.
Your name first.
My name is Adrian.
Yeah.
Kind of just getting started doing my own thing on this.
Do we have one? Is it still plugged in? It's right behind you. Check. Yes.
Just getting started into this, but a friend of mine runs a international project freight forwarders network with probably about 80 members from around the world. They're limited to 2 members per country. They are looking for and into supply chain solutions. What we've found so far, I'm helping do research on this, are private blockchain solutions which don't look that secure right now. So anybody wants to have a discussion or has some ideas about pitching them through their companies, let me know. We'll chat in a bit. That was about it.
Fantastic.
I'm also on a couple of WeChat groups. People don't use Facebook in China because it's blocked, so there's a few hundred people on the group out of Guangzhou, in Hong Kong, and mainland China that I'm corresponding with and discussing, and they've got a lot of amazing solutions on there.
Thank you so much. That's exactly the kind of stuff we're looking for, right? Okay. How about Joe?
All right.
Joe, you're up.
All right, thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Joe. My company is BitAML, and I provide regulatory compliance consulting. I know who, right? But if you have any questions about AML, KYC, your business model, all the way up to helping you develop a compliance program, stop by and see me. As Pamela mentioned, we're a very open community, so if you have questions tonight, if you want to pick my brain, I'm here to help. I give my time to the Blockchain Education Network, and I'd love to give my time to you guys, so if you have any compliance questions, I'm here to help. Thank you, Pamela.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. All right, Rob. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rob Tishner. My area of expertise is Bitcoin mining. Company's Tishner Crypto Solutions. We've grown from doing it in my house to a multi-site organization. So if you have questions on mining, there's a lot of misinformation about mining. If you have questions about mining or interested in it, what to do, what not to do, I've been through all those battles, so I can help you get started. And also, I just wanted to mention, we are trying to build a meetup group in Champaign. So if you guys would be interested in helping us with that, we'd be really interested. We're trying to get students interested in the space and that sort of thing. So speakers, that sort of thing, we're looking for that. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll get Rob to come out and do a workshop about mining if you guys are interested in that, because I know I'd like to see it. Next up, Rodrigo. Still here?
It's not.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, RJ. Oh, I was like, where? You were over there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I was like, I feel like.
Mystery.
Hi. Can everybody hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Hi, I'm RJ. I am semi-Ethereum Foundation. I work on the Solidity language that was just presented, and I actively develop it. Currently working on the fixed point types, so anybody who here actually develops in Solidity. Okay, so if anybody's complaining about that, they're coming. Trust me. I say semi because I'm not actually funded by the Ethereum Foundation. I'm actually funded by Eris. I have a little market here. We do a little bit of permission chains and different things in that area. We're an overall tooling company, though, and we want to go ahead and make things easy to develop with any blockchain application that you have in mind. So if you have any questions about anything Ethereum-wise, development, Solidity questions, you can't figure out your smart contract, why is this not working, blah, 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 feel free to come and talk to me. I think we're all going over for a beer, yeah? So that sounds like fun, so let's go ahead and do that. Coding and beer. Okay, for every segfault, we take a shot. How about that? Huh? All right, so yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, RJ. Bill, want to come up?
I got confused.
Oh, okay, no worries. Jacob. The lighting thing is kind of confusing, but you can just come up and say hi.
Hi.
There you go.
My name is Jacob Eckert. I'm very interested in this whole sphere, and I actually kind of want to do more of a crowdfunding thing, and anyone who could help me, because I'm not, that's not where my skill sets lie in setting these things up. So, but I'm like an inventor, and I'm a maker, so I'd like to make a project and publish that to the world. So, if you think you could help me with that project, that would be great.
Fantastic. Yay, thanks so much. You guys, I can't believe it, but it looks like we're done.
Oh.
I know, right? Have you guys had a good time?
Yeah.
All right, good. That was